Okay, and let's allow. I think I just opened the webinar. Welcome, everyone. We will start in about 1 minute or so. I can see numbers is going up nicely, and we'll wait until we reach the time.
Dr. Hamad, you are muted.
Thank you. I think we can start. So you can see the numbers is going up. We have people on the live streaming. So we'll start, and others will join us. So thank you everyone for coming today. This is another day, or we have important session today by Dr. Mohamed Fteiha. I'll just do a little introduction of Dr. Fteiha, and then he will take over. Dr. Mohamed Fteiha joined Abu Dhabi University in 2012 as Associate Professor and Chair of the Education Department within the College of Art and Sciences in Al Ain. In April 2016, he was appointed interim campus director for Al Ain. He holds licenses as a speech therapy specialist from both Dubai Health Authority and the UAE Ministry of Health. Prior to coming to ADU, he worked as a speech therapist and autism specialist. Just get a message on the screen saying start recording. Okay. So Dr. Fteiha has an MA in speech and language pathology and communication disorder from Jordan University and PhD in special education from Amman Arab University for graduate studies. His research area includes many important areas related to assistive technology and inclusive and special education, teaching methods, working with families of children with special needs, inclusive practices, early interventions, and communication disorder. He authored the Autism Encyclopedia, addressing various aspects of autism and its spectrum. He has received notable awards, including the Khalifa Award for Education, the Princess Haya Award of Special Education, and Harvard Medical School Dubai Center's Tamayuz Award for Healthcare Professionals. We are really pleased to have you with us today, Dr. Fteiha. The floor is yours.
Thank you, Dr. Hamad, and thank you for the introduction. And it's an honor to be part of our investing in our community, which is one of the greatest projects initiated by and led by yourself and the team at Abu Dhabi University. And I think this is a great chance and opportunity for the community to enrich their competences in different areas related to teaching and learning and other even more than those areas. So thank you for this great initiative. I'll be sharing my presentation. I hope it's clear now.
Yes, it is clear.
Yep. Thank you, Dr. Mohammed. Again, good evening, good morning, good evening, colleagues, based on where are you staying and watching us. Thank you for joining us in this session. Today, I'll be highlighting the classroom management dynamics and inclusive education with few strategies that I hope will help you to practice the inclusive education philosophy, which is one of the main frameworks that we have to follow in our educational system. My objective for this class, and I hope that you join me in AHA slide. I'll be using the AHA slide during this session. If you can just scan the QR code or you can just write the link here, ahaslide.com for AMDD. During this session, I'll be focusing mainly in recognizing the importance of effective classroom management in the inclusive education setting. We will discuss about practical strategies and technique that you can use in your class to promote inclusive education, and also how to see the impact of inclusive education in students' well-being and the academic achievement of the students. To know you more, I appreciate just let us know who's with us. If you are a school teacher or principal or HOD or special educator, therapist, university instructor, university administrator or leader, or others. Great. So we have closed classroom teachers, we have principals, we have university instructors. Again, colleagues, just you can scan the QR code here, or you can put the link ahaslide.com for AMDD. And by the way, this is one of the engaging tool that you can use with your students in the future. It's similar to Kahoot or maybe the other one, Mentimeter. So others, sorry, maybe I missed some of the titles, so sorry for that. So could we have like a diverse group, whoever was able to join us, but it will be great if you is able to join us, as we will be having some questions related to classroom management and our practice that we are following in inclusive education and classroom management. Before starting my presentation, I'll be highlighting two main points. The first point related to the 7 principles of inclusive education, and the second one related to functionality of our teaching and learning. Always we need to put those principles in our mind when it comes to inclusive education and dealing with the diverse group. The first one, provide access and participation for all students. And I think this is important. We need to put in our mind always that we have a diverse group in our class. We have different learning style. I'm a person who believes on the learning style theory, in which we acquired language, knowledge, information, skills based on the learning style that we have. We need to value the diversity that we are having in our classes. I'm talking about both K to 12 or higher education institution students, ensuring local decisions and adjustments. And this is an important part. We need to put in our mind always that there is a strategies called accommodation and modification strategy, which help me to adapt the needs of my students and the requirements of them, and adapt those with the curriculum based on their needs. I need to implement, or the school or the university that I'm working with need to implement a framework related to inclusive education. And there is a lot of those international framework. And by the way, Abu Dhabi University is having pleasure to present those framework and to provide a workshop, intensive workshops on these workshop like this framework, like response to intervention, multi-tier support system. Those are great ones that we can use to adjust our curriculum based on the needs of our students. Matching pedagogy with the students' needs, which is an important to guarantee that I'm reaching all my students. Delivering responsive programs and services, again, should be based on the need of the students. And the last one also, which I consider it one of the main principles when we are dealing with students in both universities or schools, is the interdisciplinary approach and collaboration between the team, which should impact positively our students' success and well-being. Yesterday, I conducted a workshop with for teachers. It was about the classroom management strategies, and one of the teacher highlighted that I cannot do anything alone as a teacher. I need the support of the team. The whole school system, including the parent, should play a huge role in the life of our students and achieving their teaching and learning goals. The second point that I'll consider it as a refresher for you also is the functionality of teaching. We believe that teaching coming under three main umbrella: what to teach, how to teach, and why to teach. What to teach is the content or the information, which we call it the knowledge competencies that we have as an educator. How to teach is the teaching competencies, which provided sometime with the postgraduate diploma. We have at Abu Dhabi University postgraduate diploma in teaching, in which we, alhamdulillah, around 4,000 students were graduated from this program. So here we are talking about how I teach, the pedagogy approaches that I'm following, the differentiated instructions, the active learning approaches, the project-based different approaches that we use to reach our students. And those are important when it comes to what to teach or how to teach. But for me, I feel the most important one: why am I teaching this? Why I have to teach math for the students? Why I have to teach IT? Why I have to teach calculus? Why I have to teach science? What is the purpose of that teaching? If my students understand this and I also apply it in the right way, I'm sure this will impact positively the teaching and learning process of my students, instead of repeating some meaningless goals or activities that sometimes we are doing without any purpose. If there is a purpose, I'm sure there is a benefit. And this will reflect positively on the teaching and learning and in managing my class in a right and positive way. I have a question here for you, colleagues. Again, you can just scan the QR code or write ahaslide.com for AMDD. From your experience, what are the main factors that govern students' learning? There is like a lot of those factors. I'll be inshallah checking also the chat later and the Q&A if there is any Q&A. So from your, I'm seeing some colleagues are typing, so I'm sure we'll get some information. Great, loving the subject, interaction, engagement, hands-on activities, interaction with the students, innovation. Those are helping us to manage or control our learning, our students' journey, if I can say. Collaboration, environment, passion. I'll give another minute for colleagues who want to participate, because still I'm seeing some people colleagues are typing. Engagement, again, I'm seeing engagement is the main word here. Hands-on activity, intrinsic motivation, extrinsic motivation, tension, collaboration, good planning. This is a great point. Good planning. I'll repeat it again. Good planning, gamification. Those the approaches or technologies that we are using. It will impact our students in a way. Engagement again is important, because I'm seeing this is repeating more and more. It's important to do hands-on experience, real life activities, always we push our faculty member to do those assignments and projects which reflect positively in our students' competencies and skill environment. We need to create a positive environment for our students, create knowledge, knowing the benefits, which is again why what you mentioned. Like all what you're saying are great points, and it will reflect on students' learning in a way. In one of the study, actually, they revised a lot of factors that govern students' learning, and they found that the first factor governing students' learning is classroom management. If a teacher is able, and we will go through some of those research in a minute, if a teacher is able to lead his class in a right way, then the success will be there for the students. Classroom, yes, there is other information, other factors involving, but the main one, as per the studies and researches, is the classroom management. There is instructional learning process, as you mentioned, also engagement, activities, practical parts, parent and home support. And look at the least one affecting the students' learning is the classroom demographics, which we all agree on that. So regardless of the gender, ability, disability, what else, ethnicity, other demographic data, those shouldn't affect the teaching and learning process of our students. Why we should always focus on classroom management? And colleagues, this is like one of the issue raised with the research, that there is an issue with the classroom management. Our teachers, they need always continuous support in the classroom management. There is an issue with the university's degrees, undergraduate or postgraduate. They are not focusing that much on the classroom management. I'm seeing here some responses. Effective communication, yeah, great. It affects delivering the lesson in a proper way. Without managing, teaching will be impossible. Without classroom management, I agree with you, whoever wrote this statement, there's no teaching. This helps in managing time and crucial coursework along time and practical learning to ensure effective content delivery, to be able to be effective more and efficient, to utilize the time in the right and proper way, will be driving force for lesson presentation. It affects delivering the lesson, and as we mentioned this previously, important skill, inclusion. It will help me in all areas related to diversity. Always they are saying there is nothing as a place called inclusion. Inclusion is the philosophy or the strategy that we are using to include all our students. Positive learning environment. Thank you, colleagues. This is a great input from your side. So we try always our best to improve classroom climate, which is an important, and you mentioned this several times. We need a positive climate, a positive environment. Can our students take the ownership of their teaching and learning? This is what we are looking for. We need to give them the strength to lead the learning process. It's not only a spoon feeding. It's not only just teaching. It's a learning. We need them to initiate this and to take the ownership of that. The self-discipline for our students. When students going to a transition period between grade 12 to the first year or freshman year, they're facing a lot of issues during this transition. If they are not prepared in the school and they don't have the proper self-discipline, the motivation, the ownership of their teaching and learning, I'm sure they will be facing an issue. Classroom management will help also. It's a key factor to ensure student success and learning. And by this, we will be able to reduce all disruptive behaviors that we are facing, decrease teacher redirection. Instead of each time telling the students, do this, don't do this, sit here, don't do this for your colleagues. So I'll be able to benefit from the time. So I increase the instructional time, increase academic learning time, which will reflect positively on the student success in the future. Remember, You will find some of those remembering notes. I hope that will consider as a takeaway from my session, which you can remember it in the future. When students can predict the events throughout their school day, they are most likely to be engaged and less likely to be display problem behavior. If they know what is next, what they have to do during the day, we always consider the weekly schedule is a routine. So by that, we create the routine for our students. So they will know what will happen or what's happening or what will happen also in the future. This is will reduce the issue that they are facing. Imagine in the class if you are applying the same. So students, they know the learning and outcome. They know the activities from the beginning to the end of the class. So everything will be clear for them, taking in consideration again the diverse group that we are having in our class. This will support us to find them a proper pedagogy approaches and to reach them easily. Let us watch this video, colleagues, together, and then you will give me your feedback. What is the issue here?
Ollie, can you put your feet down right now?
So please just share also your input. What is the issue in this class? Is it with the teacher? Is it with the students? Where's the problem? And some of you mentioned those issues previously in the previous slide. The teacher, weak interaction, or we can say zero interaction, colleague, right? Teacher inability to control the class, teacher cannot control his or her class, lack of control, غياب مطلق للإدارة الصفية تسبب بانعدام التعليم. So there is no classroom management which impact the teaching and learning in general. Maybe the number of students is more than should be. No rules, not clear. There is no bias. Again, disruptive, over interactive. Teacher failed to manage the class. No proper classroom management. Attention tracks should be applied. Sitting arrangement and issue. Lack of discipline. Great. This is great points. The teacher or al-muallim. Weak discipline. It seems that there is no discipline at all. Teacher improper use of management practices, no discipline at all. لا يوجد إدارة صفية. There is no classroom management. Teacher poor management. As you mentioned, all of them here. The issue is with the environment and with the teacher and with the class setting in general, which we always said effective teaching and learning cannot occur in a poorly managed classroom. And this is an important point. We have to put in our mind that class management is an important concept in teaching and learning. And we have to equip our teacher in those competencies to manage their class and lead their class in appropriate way. So the classroom management through the research-based approach, we found that it's a critical component of effective teaching and learning. Without it, nothing will be happening. As you mentioned, it's there's no teaching and learning with such poorly managed classroom. What the research tell us, there is a lot of hundreds of research, and even if you just try it in the Google classroom management, you will find more than 800 billion what they call it Google search results in seconds. about research, but you need to select the proper one that can help you to achieve your goal. Teachers typically receive little pre or in-service training in the classroom management, and this is common. I hope with the new approach of licensing system and having a regulation for teachers to have 20 or 25 hours per year will help our teacher to have some of those professional development sessions. And an initiative like this, investing in our community, I think it will be a great tool for our educator to be educated on several topics related to teaching and learning. There is based on the research also, there is a great connection between classroom management and reduction of disruptive behaviors, which is clear. And instead of focusing on those disruptive behavior with the classroom management and using the behaviorism approach or cognitivism approach, we will be able to reduce such behavior in a right way. Teachers indicate that they consider classroom management to be the most challenging aspects of their job, which is clear. We notice this. Part of our postgraduate diploma in teaching, we have a course called Practicum course, which is a 6 hours credit course. We visit our students, working and non-working students in school, and we notice some of the issue mainly related to the classroom management. Remember, again, every child deserves a champion, and you are the champion. You need to trust them. We need to give them the chance. We need to give them the opportunity. And trust me, they will reach the goal. They will achieve their learning outcome, and they will show their best. I'm a believer of behaviorism. Behaviorism, there is one of the main concepts related to behaviorism called classical conditioning. And I believe if the child likes the instructor, I'm sure he will give more than what he can for this class, regardless the difficulty and the complexity of the class. Let's watch this class and see what is the main concepts related to managing the classroom.
Your T-shirts and your pencils out, so I'll call you by rows to come to the carpet. It looks like row 2 is ready. We don't need to bring our T-shirts. Just your bodies. Looks like row 4 is ready. And row 1. And row 3. Awesome job, 3rd graders. Thank you for coming to the carpet so quietly. So yesterday we learned about pushes and pulls. Think to yourself, what is a push? Turn and talk to your neighbor. How would you define a push? 3, 2, 1.
To push something forward.
Raise your hand if you want to describe the definition of a push. Kaya.
You're pushing it away.
You're moving something away from you. Think to yourself, what is a pull? How could you define a pull? Turn and talk to your neighbor. 3, 2, 1. Raise your hand if you can describe the definition of a pull. Isaac?
Like grabbing something and not like taking it to you.
Yep. Can anyone else describe it in another way, Peyton?
Like pulling it towards you.
Pulling it towards you. Everyone do that? Pulling it towards you. Now, I would love to see what rows are ready.
I'll stop here, colleague, just because of the time limit. So then we'll go to the question. Describe a well-managed classroom based on what you see. If this is a well-managed classroom or like from your point of view or from your perspective. As we mentioned, colleagues, like collaboration is important. We believe on sectional approach, multidisciplinary approach. Without the support of the team, I'm sure there's an issue. And we need to guarantee also a consistency between the classes that the students is taking. If there is any issue, engaging, flipped classroom, collaborative. Agree with you, every kid says, every kid is involved in this session. Yes, grouping, good instruction, clear expectation. Students feel comfortable, intelligence, spatial planning. So she benefits from all available resources. Students feel comfortable to ask and participatory. The teacher work hard on making sure students understand the procedure of the classroom management. Again, procedures, rules are important, and we need to utilize it in an effective and efficient manner, not just to hide it or make it in a small, tiny line, which hardly seen by the students. Applying regularities leading to a disciplined classroom. Great classroom rules, discipline. Connect with the students. Again, it's an important, and we see how much is the connection between students and if you notice how much the teacher is, she was really relaxed while she is teaching. The tension was not there totally. Discipline, again, actively engaged students and managed by an active teacher or instructor. Give the students freedom to speak with the rules. You notice that she gives them also the rules and the discipline that they have to follow. Collaboration is an important. اتفاقيات أساسية واضحة. شخصية معلم. تلبية احتياجات الطلبة. الاحترام. Yes, there is a rules in that, which is clear rules, and we saw this in the video. Personality of the teacher. Also the needs of the students. We saw her how she's moving between the students, and she was respecting them. All these points that really lead to have a well-managed classroom. I understand that the issue that we face sometime and from the administrative part, but we need as a teacher also to try to prove ourselves and to work with our students. If we are able to manage it and give a great example for our leaders, I'm sure this will be appreciated, and it can be a success story for other students or for other teachers. It's good to build this teaching community or professional community in our institution, so each one of us can learn from other and acquire those great skills that our teachers are doing. I know that there is a big number of our teachers doing even better than those classes that I share with you, but we need to share this experience between us. High level of students' involvement with the work, clear students' expectation. When I know the expectation, the learning outcome, when the students know the learning outcome, I'm sure they will be involved. When they share with me building those learning outcome, building those rules together, it will impact them. And we see how much the time was really used in her class. There is no confusion, no disruption, no any misusing for the time. So it's work oriented, and which create a positive climate for the students. We need to remember, colleagues, always there is like some evidence-based strategies we have to put in our mind. I need to establish a clear expectation for my students, for my goals, and also work to exceed those expectations. Now we are in an era in which AI is there. A lot of progress happening with the education system. So I need to empower my students and give them those competences that will take them to the future we don't know. We at Abu Dhabi University, we are proud to create those graduate attribute for our students, which I'm connected with the real work experience that they will have. And I hope schools in the future will be having their graduate attributes for, so students when he reach grade 12 should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 skills which will take it with him to the university. A positive reinforcement instead of focusing on the negative reinforcement approach. Don't do this, stop doing this, sit down, go there, go out. let us use the positive reinforcement approach, which will impact positively. And trust me, will impact the undesired behavior, and it will be eliminated and reduced. Consistency for us is a key. When I'm dealing with my students, I should be following the consistency approach in discipline of the behavior, or in the teaching and learning approach, in accepting them also. Build positive teacher-students relationship. Rapport is an important between the teachers and students. Proactive strategies to avoid any issue. Because of that, when we ask our students in the postgraduate diploma to prepare their lesson plan for their classes, we ask them, try to do some proactive strategies. I know this student, and I know what he will do. He's having a learning disability issue. He's a gifted and talented student. Let me give him some enrichment activities or challenging activities which will impact his teaching and learning, instead of having an issue in his class. We need to work on social emotional skills. We have colleagues at school and universities, something we call it a hidden curriculum. It's the activities that we work with our students, or we build in our students, which is not in the curriculum: teamwork activity, leadership skills, self-confidence skills, personality skills. Those are an important one. Maybe it's not available in math, in science, in Arabic, or in Islamic classes, but it's there. It's my part as a teacher to enhance those skills. So I need to create a positive learning environment for all students. We agree that inclusive education is the era now. And if you are working with ADIC school, ADIC just recently released a new policy for inclusive education. And I'm sure this is also in all countries. Like, we try to push for inclusive education and provide the education opportunity for all students, regardless of their ability or disability, gender, ethnicity, or other demographic data that we are having. We need to guide the students to take the responsibility of their teaching and learning. This will impact them positively and will reduce the behavioral issues that they are facing, and also it will increase their intrinsic motivation. Be consistent. The classroom management practice, again, as we mentioned, is an important important part. Be positive, always clear. Why? We focus on why several times, because it's an important. For me, I will not be able to do something without understanding that thing. So it's better to explain it to the students, and also connect that always to your teaching and learning. Trust me, students will appreciate this and will understand it. Try to limit, when it comes to class rules, try to limit them to a specific number and be clear as much as you can. We believe on student-centered approach. So we are now a facilitator. We are not a prompter. So we need just to facilitate. So try to use those strategies or pedagogy approaches that support your role as a facilitator. And maybe in the future, we can have a workshop related to those active learning strategies. Remember, smooth running classes are the responsibility of the teacher. Smooth running class is the responsibility of the teacher, and it is the result of the teacher's ability to teach procedures. I need to teach a procedure, rules, and to inform. I need to be a model for my students. There's few techniques in the classroom management. I'm sure you are familiar with majority of them. I need to highlight only the physical proximity, because just of the time. I know that, Dr. Hamad, I have 1 hour, so I will try to finish like 10 minutes before, to open the door for questions and to see the comments of our colleagues. Physical proximity is an important concept in classroom management. And what we mean by that, where I'm available in my class. Unfortunately, we notice this like several times when we visit some of the schools while we are observing our students in the postgraduate diploma in teaching. You will find the teacher taking a corner and just delivering his class. As a teacher, I need to be there in all classroom area. And this is what we mean by proximity. Yes, I have the surrounded close area to me, but I have another students And we saw in the video how she reached to the students in the corner. So I need to take care of all students in my class and moving between them to reach them easily and to support them as much as I can. I need to provide them with the intensive or praised teacher students report should be there. Settings of the classroom or the classroom settings. It's my responsibility. There is a freedom that I have as a class teacher, which I can manage my class. I need to make a balance between the activities that I'm giving to my students. Class energy, I need to control it in a way. Always I advise my colleagues, the teachers, try to have it with fun. Teaching and learning, yes, it's needed, but we need to add this salt part, fun part. It's a necessary for our students. I'll not go through this video, but it will be available on our Invest in Our Community portal, so you can access it. It's about the proximity and what I explained before. Those are strategies that you can use in managing your class. Those are different strategies, again, based on your classroom structure model. The modeling is an important for me as an instructor. So students will follow me and imitate me. Encourage the initiative of the students. Let them take the lead. Avoid punishing the whole class. This is maybe an old approach, which we are not doing now. What I mean by punishing, not necessarily the physical. We focus on the second degree punishment. Rules should be documented. Intensive, again, it's an important. Your non-verbal communication, it should be there. It's a lever of your verbal communication. Give tangible reward for your students. Try to focus always on a positive behaviors, which will increase, and try to avoid focusing that much in the disruptive behavior unless if it is needed. Try to make an interview with your students to understand more. I use a strategy with my students in the class. After I finished my class, I put 2 or 3 questions on the Microsoft form to ask the students to fill in what is the things that they are was not clear for them, what they want me to focus on next class, what is the issue that they face in this class. So this has helped me to give a clear idea about what I have to do in the coming class. Address the negative behaviors quickly as much as you can. Use technology in your teaching and learning. It's now the era is a technology era, and the future is for technology. So let us embed the technology in all our classroom. I know by the end it's a tool, but we need to use it and utilize it in an efficient and effective way. For inclusive education, sorry, I'll just try to finish the main points, then we open it for discussion. Create a safe learning environment, diversify learning materials. It's important, colleagues. We are, as I said at the beginning, I am a believer of learning style theory. Each one of us acquired knowledge based on his learning style. I'm a visual learner. Maybe Dr. Hamad is an auditory learner. Maybe Dr. Muntasir is a tactile learner. So each one of us is having his approach of acquiring knowledge. So I need to focus on this. And it's an easy to identify those learning style with a survey that you can distribute to your students at the beginning of the academic year. The first week of the academic year is a crucial and important week. Make it easy for our students to participate based on their level and their ability. Again, we need to give them the chance. We have a diverse group. Not all of them will be an A students. So I need to work with all of them based on their level and their ability. Develop a report with each student. This is again an important. Remember the classical conditioning part. Those are some of the challenges that sometimes our teacher faced during their teaching and learning. Build positive relationship with the students is an important. Use differentiated instruction. assist and adjust engagement strategy each time. Remember, I did this, it was positive, so why not I repeat it again and again. I learned from my colleagues in the school. Principals, they need to run a lot of professional development opportunities for the teachers. Principals, maybe they need also some of professional development activities. They need to be aware about the new pedagogy approaches and what's used with this era. Mindset, we need to change our students' mindset and help them as much as we can to be leaders in their class and to get the ownership of their learning. Some takeaways that I hope to take with you from this quick session. Again, colleagues, classroom management is a course by itself. So we teach it in 13 weeks at Abu Dhabi University. But just I give you some of those hints that you can take with you and use it in your classroom and dig more or deeper in those researches or strategies that we shared with you. And I'm sure majority of you having great ideas to implement in your school. So we need to work collaboratively for all school. If there's a framework is a great tool that can guarantee mapping the curriculum and learning outcome within the philosophy of the school and the vision and mission of the school. As I mentioned before, response to intervention or multi-tier support system. Always I'm talking about those systems because it's really a great systems and support our students not only academically, also in a behavioral part. Clear expectation should be there, positive reinforcement, consistency, positive teacher-students relationship, proactive strategies or proactive planning, social and emotional skills, like I have always to put in my mind. As we saw in the video, teachers' calmness, it's an important. I know sometimes it's difficult, mainly if we deal with the youngest kids. But again, will create a positive environment in my school and will in my class and will encourage engagement and will help in reducing all disruptive behavior in my class. So the personality, as you mentioned, it's an important part. Finally, remember, the one problem in the classroom is not discipline. It's the lack of procedure and routine. So if we don't have proper routine, or don't have proper procedure in my class, clear one, it's fine to use it written, but add on it the visual strategies or visual cues. It will help other students to understand it in a right and proper way. Thank you for listening to me, and I hope that you enjoy the session. And I'll keep it for the question, Dr. Hamad. I'll be going through the chat.
Yeah, good. I think, yeah, you can do that. But also we have some hands up. First of all, really thank you for amazing session. I learned personally a lot of things from this session, and I'm sure the audience also finding it interesting. Please add your questions to the Q&A or the chat, but we prefer the Q&A. If you want to ask or participate with voice, just raise your hand and I'll give you the microphone so you can ask your question. I can see we have Ghaith Hussein. I will give you the microphone. Please unmute yourself and speak. Anyone else wanted to speak, please raise your hand. I have Ahmad. Ahmad, could you please unmute your microphone, please?
Hello, doctor. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yes, Ahmad.
Yeah, good evening. From where I'm staying right now, it's evening. So good evening, everyone. So it's been a pleasure actually to have these sessions, especially from a university that I've been there. I was in a postgraduate program over there, and it was excellent, actually. I really appreciate every single one of you. For those doctors who are participating in this, let's call it event, I'm really excited for this event, or a bunch of sessions, let's say. I have a question about learning styles, Dr.
Yeah.
Muhammad.
Yeah,
So
please.
it's yeah, I mean, even when I was in the university, I've heard a lot about learning styles, but I know I've tried a lot in my classes. For example, some students prefer, let's say, visual learners, and they prefer to watch videos, and some of them are auditory, some of them are like reading books. I've tried, for example, the ones who are, let's say, like videos. So the problem is, I've noticed that they will understand the session uh, temporarily, let's say. So they will understand the concept from the video, but when it comes to the exams or the quizzes, even if they actually they have the video as a resource, but yet I can see some students, they cannot actually achieve a good grade in the quiz or in the exam, even though they watch the video. So I think it's a complementary to have, for example, videos, but it's not, let's say, it's not necessity. I'm not gonna say necessity. It's not actually the real thing that actually makes the student get good grades. I mean, a student must be able to sit down, grab a piece of paper, especially when I'm teaching, for example, physics or math. So they must do some practice. They must use the pen or pencil. They must be able to read and memorize some few formulas, for example. So it's not only about, they will understand the from the video, but if they cannot actually sit down at home and study for the test, I think I've seen this problem a lot. So can you give me a comment about this, please? Thank you so much. I
Yeah,
appreciate it.
great. Thank you, Ahmad, and it's an honor again to have you with us in this session.
Thank you
Yeah,
so much.
agree with you. And the issue that there is also a misunderstanding for the learning style theory. When we are saying the learning style theory, it doesn't necessarily to have like 100% a visual learner or 100% a tactile learner or 100% a auditory learner. Those are mixed ones. So you will find that he is maybe 70% or 75% visual learner, and the rest are auditory or tactile. So, but my advice always to the teacher, instead of focusing on one learning style, provide the students with the multi-sensory approach, which include the auditory, tactile, and this is actually will be also positive add to the students. Maybe practicing need more. We need to identify the learning style in a right and proper way for our students. We believe as an educator who is believing on the learning style theory that majority of our students are visual learner, but still we don't want just to focus on the visual learner approaches. So we need to enrich it and add more and more and give them the chance to practice the other approaches. I'll give you an example of that. We always face an issue with the students with learning disability. We use with him the visual approach or auditory approach or a mixed approach even, but he's a tactile person, which he likes to touch things to be able to understand it and acquire it in a right way. So imagine if I am using the three modalities with him, how is the impact will be in the student. It's like an enriching for him.
Thank you, Dr. Fteiha. We have Yasamin. Could you please unmute your microphone?
Thank you very much, Dr. Hamad and Dr. Fteiha. It was a wonderful session. Very interesting and very interactive. You've covered most of the aspects which are required to having this classroom management. However, as currently being head of department in in my own institution. I would like to have your comment on how can we enrich our teachers more with refresher courses. I think it's very regularly needed. Like we focus on what the students need, but who has to give is finally the teachers. Now, their regular trainings, like you mentioned in form of regulations and frameworks, their regular training in a very fresh way is very important. So how do you see that?
I agree with you. The professional development is an important aspect for us. Even if the one finished the master or the PhD, still there is a need for those areas of the professional development. Maybe giving an intensive at Abu Dhabi University, we use the point system, which we connected with the annual performance evaluation of the faculty members. So this will encourage them to attend and implement. The issue sometimes it's not with the attending, I believe, it's with the implementing of those workshops that we are attending. So we need to monitor this. Peer review is a great tool to check if the teacher is really implementing those and benefiting from each other experience. School itself can have like a day for professional development or a monthly session. Such program that created by Dr. Hamad, investing in our community, it's a great tool for our teacher, and we will be having a lot of those professional development sessions specifically for teacher related activities. Yeah, we need always to encourage them, and as you said, it's part of the regulations now. Otherwise, it will be impacting their license as a teacher.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. There is a comment, Dr. Hamad and Dr. Hamad, if you allow me. Mr. Ahmed, we are not blaming the teacher. We are a teacher. We are in one hand with the teacher, and we are doing like a lot of those professional development activity to support the teacher. Why we are saying we need to equip the teacher with those competencies, because he is in front of the students. He is having this small community to prepare him or prepare them for the future to be a good citizens. So it's my responsibility as a teacher. I know it's a collaborative work. It's not only a teacher, the principal, the social worker, the psychologist, or the psychiatrist, or the special educator, so we need to work together. The example that I give, which is response to intervention approach or framework, you will find the team called the case team consists of different members of the school to support the teacher. So all of us here to support the teacher in his work with the students to guarantee that there is no issue, and also to guarantee that our students, they are getting the proper education and they are achieving their learning outcome. There's a question also, no matter how good the teacher is in classroom management, I think the overcrowded class is the main problem here, and possibly not the teacher yet. The teacher must have some. I agree with you. This is an issue, but again, trust me, even if I have proper rules, procedures in my class, I'll be able to manage the number or the crowd that I'm having. We visited a lot of those classes with a big number, but it was an effective, efficient classes, engaging classes, and the teacher was managing the classes in a right and effective manner.
Yeah, in the Q&A, there are three questions now. One about the grade. Are grades reflective of competencies? This is from Ahmad.
Related to Ahmad's comments. What do you mean that the grades that we give to the students related to their learning style? If this is the question, it shouldn't be, because we are doing the assessment, regardless if it is summative or formative assessment, based on their abilities. So, but I can use those learning style to enhance my assessment tools based on their learning style, just to help them to understand or to give them the right way to express their feeling. An example can I share with you. Previously at Abu Dhabi University, we had a students who was students with blindness, and he was having an exam when he joined us. We don't have that technology at the beginning to support him, but the way that the faculty dealt with him for the final exam, just they record the answers, which is a right approach. So we deal with him according to his learning style and his need. Is this TikTok age? Well, I agree with you. The attention span of students is becoming short, and all teacher must undergo a refresher update and learn how to manage this. Agree with you. Like with this fast technology that they are having, and so we'll try to make our goals what they call task analysis. So we analyze those tasks to be a simple and quick ones as the TikTok approach to avoid any issue with their attention. And we give them just a refresher in between. Can OBE be applied in managing classroom? If you just explain the abbreviation, because there is a lot of things. It's obsessive. It's what you mean by OBE. Have you tried reserve roles? Reverse roles, you mean to teach or students to be a teacher? Yeah, we tried it, and to share with you, even we involved our students with the assessment. So they assess each other at the beginning, like several years ago. It was an issue, and we were discussing this with our colleagues in the education department. If we are allowing students to evaluate each other, then they will grade each other high grades, or they will give each other high grades. But it was really the opposite. When I tried this with the students, they are giving, if you provide them with the rubric, and it's a teaching experience for them, let them do that type of, and nowadays we give them this ownership, so they can do a presentation, they can be part of the class, they can do a lot of the activity. How to deal with the students with learning difficulties, especially who have difficulty in memorization information. This is the session by itself, Hiba. I think maybe in the future, Dr. Ahmed, we can have a class for dealing with learning disabilities in classroom. But just to make it easy for you, we need to answer it in this short period. We need to focus more on the tactile approach. The students with learning disability are tactile learner, which means that they like to touch things. So because of that, when you write the alphabets on the board, or when you write the numbers on the smart board, it's meaningless for them. They need, this is the way how they acquire language. So we need to be more practical with them in teaching them. But again, I'm happy to do a session in the future, again, based on Dr. Hamad.
There's a clarification on the OBE. OBE is outcome.
Sorry. Outcome-based
Yeah.
education. Yeah, great. We use this actually, because all of our work depend on outcome-based education. So we do the goals, we monitor those goals, and we check how's the progress of the child. Sorry, because sometimes those abbreviation, I work with the medical side and with the special education, so we have this abbreviation also used in our setting. So thank you for explaining it, Mr. Mohammed.
I think we're done with our time. I know there are more questions maybe the audience have. We have Professor Ghassan with us from India.
Hi, Professor Ghassan.
Last time he was attending from the airplane. That shows the commitment and belief in how important this initiative. Professor Hassan, you want to say anything? I think you are on mute. You are on mute.
Thank you, Dr. Hamid, for this program, this initiative on investing in our community is absolutely great. And I feel sorry for the people who didn't attend Dr. Mohamed Fteiha's lecture tonight, because it has been amazing. Really, I learned a lot from you. We all assume that we have been in the business for a long time and we know it all. We don't. And you are a great leader, Professor Mohammed, and great scholar. No wonder why our Al-Ain campus is so successful, because of your leadership. And at the same time, you are a scholar, a researcher, and a true teacher who's telling us about his own experiences to improve the student learning experience, which is the most important thing in academia. That's why we are in the university, to help our students and support them. And I'm so proud of one of our students, one of the speakers was a graduate from the university, and you can see the quality of our alumni as well. So I'm grateful to you, Dr. Mohammed, for this amazing lecture.
Thank you, Professor Waqar. Thank you. I was thinking in my mind, like coming after yourself, Professor Ghassan, and then Dr. Hamad, and then Professor Muntasir. So I said I have to be close to those expertise and those leaders. So thank you for this opportunity, and thanks for Dr. Hamad also for his support always.
And next week I will be running another lecture on how to succeed in doing a PhD. So I'm sure many PhD potential students or current students or PhD supervisors would benefit from it. I hope if people in the audience can circulate the call, I'm sure it will come from Dr. Hamad at some stage to their students so they can benefit from next week's lecture.
Dr. Ghassan, Professor Ghassan, there is a Mr. Umar. He's telling me that I am similar to one of the sport what they call them معلق
حفيظ الدراجي.
السبورت بين حفيظ الدراجي.
Yeah, commentator, isn't it? Yeah.
Good. We will see day after tomorrow. Jordan
Yes, yes.
Yeah.
and Qatar. Which will be a good game. Okay. Thank you, everyone. I think I enjoyed it and everyone enjoyed it. The link will be there. You can watch it if you missed part of it. And please, we want to see you next time as well, and share the presentation, I think, to anyone that you think will benefit from it. And thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Dr. Hamad. Thank you.
Thank you, Professor Hassan. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.